Today I'm going to review The Evil of Frankenstein.
Who created a monster by crude surgery and harnessed the tempestuous forces of nature to give it life.
The Evil of Frankenstein came out in 1964 and is a Hammer production. It's the third in the Frankenstein series. They made 7 Frankenstein films, 6 with Peter Cushing. The one he didn't do is the horror of Frankenstein, and he was replaced by Ralph Bates. 5 of the films were directed by Terence Fisher. However, this film was directed by Freddie Francis, and he's a great director. He did a lot of Amicus films. The screenplay was by Anthony Hinds, and music by Don Banks. The film runs 84 minutes and only cost £130,000. The film breaks continuity from the last film, The Revenge of Frankenstein, and it's sort of a reboot of the series. Hammer obtained the rights from Universal to use the makeup that was used for Boris Karloff in the original Frankenstein film. So the makeup, although it's not exact, it's based on that version. They were also able to use the laboratory sets that look similar to the original 1931 film. The film stars Peter Cushing as Baron Frankenstein, Peter Woodthorpe as Zoltan, Duncan Lamont as the Chief of Police, Sandor Eles as Hans, Kiwi Kingston as the Creature, and Katie Wilde as Rena. So the plot of this film's really weird. It's like a reboot of the Frankenstein series. No continuity with the first 2 films. It's about Frankenstein coming back to where he used to live, and in flashback it shows you how he created this monster, and he got shot and fell over a cliff, and it fell in like ice. So he comes back to where he used to live, his castle, and he finds the monster in some ice, and he throws them out. It's actually a bit similar to Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, where in that film there's monster in ice and it gets thawed out. So it's a bit similar to that, but it is like a proper reboot. And this is like the only film that Freddie Francis directed in the Frankenstein series for Hammer. Brilliant director though, he's done some brilliant stuff. My opinion is just as good as Terence Fisher. However, this film's not as good as some of the others in the series. It does miss Terence Fisher's direction. He seems to know how to get Peter Cushing to play Baron Frankenstein. Makes him more evil. But in this film, the character's really toned down. And there's also a lot more humour. The Burgomaster pinching Baron Frankenstein's stuff.
Well, well, well. My old friend, the Burgomaster. That ring!
Well, what of it?
That ring the Burgomaster's wearing, it's mine!
That bloody Burgomaster pinching all the bloody Frankenstein stuff. What a bloody hawker. Proper bloody shithouse. Yes, it was a great bugger bones. Hey, Phil, it's like when you moved out of that bloody village. When you had the bloody skip and you were throwing all your stuff out. Every bugger was in the bloody skip pinching it. Bunch of bloody hawkers. Yeah, I remember that, Bones, they did. Good job there wasn't a Burgomaster. Another interesting thing is because Hammer had kind of sort of like the rights to the Universal makeup for this film, because they kind of made a deal with Universal. They could have made this makeup exactly like the one Boris Karloff had. And they missed a golden opportunity, I thought. Should have been more like Karloff's makeup while they had the chance to do it. Instead, you just got this like monster with a square head. Yeah, that bloody monster with a bloody big head. Looks now like bloody Karloff's bloody Frankenstein monster. Soft as bloody shit. But at least the monster in this film looks like a monster, instead of just a fella with stitches on his forehead. Hammer could also use like the sets that so they look similar to the 1931 version of Frankenstein. They could use the laboratory sets. And that's one of the good points about this film, is it does look a bit more expensive looking. So like the sets where Cushing's making the monster, they look really good. However, even that set It still doesn't look as good as the ones in the Universal Frankenstein films of the 30s and the 40s. I remember watching this film as a kid. One of the scariest things about this film was the opening, where Frankenstein's cutting the heart out of this corpse. You see him struggling, cutting the heart out, while the opening credits are playing. You see who's in the film, but you're really looking at Peter Cushing struggling on, cutting this heart out. It's off camera. You don't see him cutting. It's all in the imagination. You're seeing him sweating and straining as he's pulling the heart out. And you eventually see the heart getting plopped into a glass jar. That was a good effective opening, that. Cushing's Frankenstein's also got an assistant called Hinds. They team up with this dumb deaf girl. So there's like a group of them. They make this like hypnotist, who's really the main villain of the film. He hypnotises the monster to obey what he says it has to do. So instead of Frankenstein being the villain, it's him. And eventually the monster gets drunk on wine. Hey, Phil! Did they put your brain in the bloody monster's head? Why, is that bones? Heineken. Because it's a fucking alcoholic. You cheeky bugger. So overall, this is kind of like just an average Frankenstein film in the series. But it's not a patch off the real good ones. Like Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed, The Curse of Frankenstein. I think one of the main problems is Cushing's not evil in this film. I don't know why they called it The Evil of Frankenstein, because he's good. He's kind of like more of a rogue in this film.
Good night.
Instead of an evil bastard. I think the main problem with the film is it was trying to be like the Universal films, like having the monster more focused. They were maybe planning on doing like films that follow the same monster, whereas the strength of the Hammer Frankensteins is the actual Baron Frankenstein. He's the monster, really. So this just felt like a kind of remake of a Universal Frankenstein film. But it was still fun, so out of 10, I think I'll be generous and give it 7. 7 out of 10. But I don't think you're going to do like that. Not bad, Phil, but you can't beat Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed. That was the best Hammer Frankenstein film. Okay, everybody, bye. Like, subscribe, and share. Bye.
They beat him after all.